Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now it has been a while since I've sat down and filmed like just like a sit down sort of type of video. I've carried on with like my live watch alongs for the games and that, but I haven't, it's probably been nearly a month since I did like a match review, player ratings videos. Basically with the Luton game, I couldn't do my live because I was at work. And then when it came to like maybe doing like player ratings, I was kind of ill. So then I was thinking I can't do them. So that's why there was nothing to do with the Luton game. And then it was Fulham, which I did my live to. And I did plan to film like a match review and a player ratings. I never got round to it. And then before we know it, the Crystal Palace game was happening. But basically for this video, it's sort of like a match review / player ratings rolled into one. Normally I do them separately. But I feel like it's more like just like a generalised Tottenham video currently. Of like our most recent games, Luton, Fulham, Crystal Palace. Because at the time of the Crystal Palace game, obviously it finishing 2-1 to Spurs. Tottenham was still top of the league, 5 points clear, like when we won that game, which was on Friday. So this is more like a generalised video, sort of like but just to talk about everything. But yes, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. So let's go. Obviously the Luton game, went down to 10 men, obviously because of Basuma. And Van der Ven gets a goal and we end up winning 1-0. The Fulham game, we win 2-0. I feel like we probably could have won it by more, especially like the Luton game as well, because we definitely like dominated that game and we definitely should have been at least 3-0 up in like the first half. But you know, at this point in time, I'm just like, you know what, we just won the game, so it doesn't really matter. Also, that Fulham game, we dominated, and again, we ended up winning 2-0. Now, mainly focus on the Crystal Palace game. First half, I felt like Palace defended well, and Spurs sort of struggled to find openings. And like when we did sort of find like some form of little like a bit of space here and there, our moves just got broken down. We didn't pass the ball quick enough, or like little mistakes as well, especially in the final third, which was really like costing us from being able to creating chances. Because we didn't have a shot on target in the first half. And I feel like Richarlison, to be honest, his second half was the start of the second half was a bit better from Richarlison. Obviously, it still wasn't too great, but I feel like the second half he definitely improved on his first half performance. Now, his first half performance, like, don't get me wrong, like, the effort was there and, like, he was constantly running, trying to, you know, create things and, like, everything. But there's just, like, little mistakes where the ball got out of play or he would lose it really easily. I feel like he needs to be a lot more physical when trying to hold up the ball, because it gets past to him, either bounces off him or he just loses it really easily. So that was kind of like a bit frustrating in the first half. Obviously, I still, you know, had hope. I was like, you know what, we still can win this game. It was just a little bit frustrating at times. We was like, then the move would break down and the chance would be gone. And obviously, and then going into half time at 0-0 is not too bad. Obviously, Crystal Palace did have like 2 chances where they could have scored. Caro made brilliant saves. So if like one of those went in, it could have been a completely different game. You never know. But luckily, we sort of went into 0-0. Not sort of. We did go into half-time at 0-0. I feel like maybe Crystal Palace was slightly better just because of the way they defended, and they did have like those 2 chances, like I said. But come out in the second half, there was a small space. You know, we were creating more chances. Kulusevski was more on the ball, and we were finally, you know, creating a lot more, being able to get behind the Crystal Palace defence. And then comes the first goal, and it was just shot across the box. It ended up being an own goal. But you know what? When you need some luck, you'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're very good at that, you know, creating chances and, like, own goals happening. I feel like that was happening a lot last season, maybe a little bit last season. But, yeah, Maddison has been on fire since the start of the season, if we're being honest. And the way it was, like, shot across the box. And then Ward had, I don't know what he was planning on doing with the ball, but he just, like, kicked it and it went in. So we have Tottenham winning 1-0. And then, you know what, we're like, we need that second goal, because 1-0 is a very, like, dodgy, like, sort of scoreline. Like, I have more confidence in our defence, don't get me wrong. But we've seen, like, before, like, you know, a 1-0 is not the safest scoreline. So if we're able to get a second, in which we did, And this move, oh my God, this is probably one of the best goals I've seen us get this season. Like the way Porro was able to like keep hold of it in the park, pass it to Sarr. That Sarr cross to Johnson was insane. And Sarr's just impressing me each game he plays. And then Johnson with that header, yes, it wasn't the most like not flattering, but like the most elegant sort of header, but it got to the target, Maddison. So I feel like, you know, it's what it is. So it sort of heads it to Maddison, and Maddison keeps hold of it. Johnson makes a run into the box. Maddison passes to him. Johnson, you know, passes it to Son, and Son finishes the chance. And like I said before, it was probably one of the best goals we've scored this season. And then at that point, it's 2-0. You're thinking, not so much game over, but it's going to be very hard for Crystal Palace to get back into the game, and we sort of gain control, like keep control of the game, maybe get a third, or just keep hold of our lead we've already got. So we're getting towards like the end of the game, you know, 8 minutes added on, I think. Was it 6? No, eight added minutes added on. You're thinking, oh great, 8 minutes. And yeah, like 4 minutes to go. It's like 90 plus 4 minutes. Got 4 minutes to go. 2-0. We're fine. No, Crystal Palace end up with a throw. It ends up going. Because it's been a few days since the game, I think it went straight to Jordan Ayew. I think he handballed it. He handballed it. He scored, but it was handball. Now, obviously, then it goes 2-1. And the VR, it's like checking the goal, seeing if it's handball. They spent ages checking it, and I'm thinking, I can clearly see it's hit his hand. I can see that. Like, I can see, like, I'm watching, I'm like, yes, you can clearly see it's hit his hand. And they spent ages and ages checking it, and in the end, they decided to give the goal because they can't come to any conclusion either way. Like, they think it might hit his hand, but they can't be sure if it did, so just give the goal. So then there's like a lot of stress, like there's probably an added 2 minutes or so to the added time already because of their check. So then Crystal Palace are like throwing everything at us in the like last remaining 4-6 minutes. And it was just really stressful when it shouldn't have had to be, because that goal should not have counted. Yes, it's been a few days now, so I'm not as pissed as I was, but like I'm still like annoyed because it's like, if I clearly see it hit his hand, so it shouldn't have counted. And then they had a few chances here and there, but like nothing too worrying. There's one like right near the end, which went a bit wide. Porro did that defend it. Obviously Porro made a mistake with the goal that like shouldn't have counted, but it did. But that's really his only mistake really. And it was a good finish from Jordan Ayew. But again, I reiterate, it should not have counted. But lucky, the final whistle goes and Spurs win 2-1. And like I said before, that was in order for us to go 5 points clear at the top of the table. 26 points, 8 wins, 2 draws. Still unbeaten, by the way. Just like I put that out there, still unbeaten. And let's be honest, in previous years, if Tottenham had the potential to go 5 points clear at the top, we would either have drawn the game or lost the game. So I feel like that is just like major, regardless of what people think. Oh, it's just Crystal Palace, like, or when I go, or rival fans like, you haven't played anyone yet. I'm sick of hearing that. Anyways, but the fact that we won that game, we deserved to win that game, and we went 5 points clear. Obviously now it's 2 points because other teams have won and whatnot, but it was a good game. The first half was a bit frustrating, like I said before, but I felt like Tottenham were the better side overall, and we got the deserved victory. So like Vicario, obviously he had a very good game. He couldn't have done anything about the goal that we conceded. He made 2 brilliant stops in the first half. And yeah, Vicario, I'm going to continue impressed with him. I feel like he's going like under the radar quite a lot. I feel like not enough people are talking about him. Yes, it's only been 10 games. Okay. But sort of the way he's come in and probably been one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the league so far this season. I feel like people need to talk about him a little bit more. But I'd probably give him an 8 for his performance. He got robbed of a clean sheet, another one, which I was also like, oh my God, so annoyed about, because his performance deserved a clean sheet and he should have got it if they realised the ball hit Ayew's hand before he scored. So again, it should have been disallowed. Just quickly, about like the whole title race thing, like Tottenham in the title race. It's 10 games in. I'm like staying calm, you know, like we're top of the league at the moment, you know. And I feel like, yes, as fans, we should be able to believe, as like Aaron just said, that we should just like, if we want to believe that we can win the title, then we should believe that. To me, I don't really want to talk, I'm not really going to be talking about title race just yet because it's only 10 games in. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, I'm enjoying the football, I'm happy, you know, we're seeing how we're performing and everything, still being unbeaten. For me, I'm just taking it one game at a time. And like coming into the season, I didn't have no expectations whatsoever. No expectation. Just sort of see what Ange can do, see what the players can do, and we'll just go from there. Now, because we're 26 points, unbeaten 10 games in, we're top of the league. I feel like expectations change throughout the season. So at this moment in time, I'm probably like top 4. I feel like that should be our target, top 4. If we manage to get top 4, I feel like that would be a great season for us, especially because of the season we had last season where we ended up finishing 8th. We were dreadful, like the performances, like we just could not perform well, and it was just atrocious. And to see where we are now, I feel like top 4 should be the target. Obviously, the players, they'll probably be thinking more to the title, which is, you know, what they should, like, I feel like the majority of like the top teams will go into thinking about the title, whereas us fans, I mean, maybe they wouldn't be like so like folk like title, but I feel like the players should believe that they can win the league, you know, because what's the point? Do you know what I mean? But I feel like there'd probably be like a lot of the fans just taking it one game at a time, which I feel like you should do. You know, you get a win at Crystal Palace, and all you're gonna be focused on next is the Chelsea game, which is coming up. It's gonna be an interesting game. We're gonna talk about the Chelsea game. Like obviously we've got like 6 days now. It's gonna be a fun game. Obviously Chelsea with their recent loss to Brentford at home, 2-0. I watched parts of that game. So it's gonna be Pochettino's return to Tottenham, like the stadium. It's gonna be, the atmosphere is gonna be insane. I don't know whether most people will boo him or like clap him. Like I don't know what the feeling's gonna be like. Obviously I'll be watching on TV, so I won't get like the full effect of what the atmosphere is gonna be like. But we know how Tottenham fans have been this season, so I'm expecting a brilliant atmosphere for Tottenham. How Pochettino is going to be if he's going to be welcomed, if he's going to, like, I don't know, because obviously he did go to Chelsea, and at the time I was like super pissed. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why would you go to Chelsea? But see how we're performing now with Ange and what he's done to the squad and what he's done to the club in general. I'm not too bothered that we didn't get Pochettino back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. So, yes. The Chelsea game, I will be there. Not literally there, but I'll be there watching it, if that makes sense. Obviously, Porro, we're gonna go back to sort of talk about priorities, but Porro, probably give him a 6. I felt like he wasn't, more defensively, apart from that one mistake he made with the goal in like the latter stages, I felt like he had a decent performance. I feel like with both sort of fullbacks, they just sort of struggled, especially in that first half, because things just wasn't going right for us. We just couldn't create big chances, and like we weren't really that threatening that much, especially in the first half, because obviously got great credit to Palace because they did defend really well and they didn't leave us any space, which would have been their game plan. So it's fine. Totally fine. Felt like Romero, he was sensational against Palace. I'll bring him an 8, along with Van de Ven as well, probably both 8s. Van de Ven and his pace, oh my god, like, let's be honest, he's probably the fastest centre-back in the league, and you shouldn't, like, cut with him on your team. Like, you should not be worried about certain players getting in, because you know that the majority of the time he's going to get back and be able to, like, stop the attack. So Van de Ven is great. And that partnership between Romero and Van de Ven is just getting more and more, like, it's just building up brilliantly, that partnership. And it just seems great to just have a defence that's like settled and like they don't look stressed, and you would look stressed watching them. You're just like, you're completely fine with defense. Like, obviously, we're gonna go see goals. Like, that's inevitable. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you're not like concerned like we were last year when it was like Romero, Dyer, Sanchez. Like, you're not gonna be concerned. So, both were sensational. Now, Davies starting over Destiny, we definitely saw the massive difference. It's kind of worrying how Davies like being there. I feel like he was okay defensively, but they were able to get in quite often. And I feel like he doesn't have the same threat that Dogi has, and like, you know, the way Dogi is like very physical and is able to keep the ball and is able like, to run into like midfield, keep hold of the ball, like run forward and keep hold of the ball. Davies just does not have that, and it's just unfortunate that Udogie was absent for this game. I feel like it would have been a lot different if he was able to play. But maybe this means that we'll have more time to recover enough for the Chelsea, because for the Chelsea game, we definitely need Destiny, because if Davies is against, like, don't get me wrong, Chelsea are not terrible. Like, they create chances and like sometimes they can score goals. Like, you've seen like against Arsenal, they were a better side. I feel like they put a good fight up against Liverpool as well. So I feel like with that sort of the big teams, they put in good performances. So for this Chelsea game, regardless of how Chelsea performed last game, we're going to need our best 11. Because at the end of the day, it's a derby, and like, you know, like, I mean, I hope it goes like how the last game went last season, where Tottenham won 2-0. Obviously, I would like us to beat them a lot more than 2-0, but I'll tell if we can get the win, I'm fine with it. So yeah, I'll probably give Badou's like a 5. Wasn't great. And he was rightly subbed off at half time. Basuma, I'd probably give him like a 7. I feel like he was back in the match that I scored, obviously, after his suspension. Yeah. And going to this game, I was worried that he might get a card, which would put him out for the Chelsea game, which luckily he didn't. So we're gonna give it to Chelsea, which is great, because we need him. And I feel like against, you know, he's definitely performed well against like the top sides like Man United, Arsenal, so Liverpool even as well. So it'd be great to have him back. Like, we needed him for this Chelsea game. We've got him, so it's all good. I feel like he showed some good touches. Wasn't like his best performance, but you know, it was just standard, and we got the win, so it's okay. It's all good. Do you know what I mean? Sarr, I felt like was sensational. Again, his cross, just have to mention it, for our second goal. And he was just like vital in that middle of the park, and just, it was great. And I feel like, just for like 20 years old, I think, yeah, he is just showing immense quality, and I feel like he's just going to keep improving. Maddison, I'd also give a 7. It wasn't like his best performance again, but I feel like he set like a high standard. Like, even like probably like considered his worst performances, he still shows good things. Obviously he was basically involved in both goals, so I feel like a lot of stuff goes through him, and like the quality he offers Spurs, even if he's not at his absolute best, is immense. And we've needed a player like him for a while, since Eriksen left, and the fact that we actually got him for the price he was. Got to hand it to Daniel Levy, Paratici, whoever, you know, really got that deal over the line. I don't, like, obviously, I've always said it, Maddison is the signing of the season. I stand by that. Kulusevski, I would give a 6. Final third, in the first half, he didn't really create much. Definitely was more involved in the second half and making some good runs, so I feel like he's more of a threat. With Kulusevski and all our front players, apart from like Son, because Son is producing and he's like, you know, scoring goals, assisting. I feel like we need more goals from like the left and the right, and I feel like we're gonna get more of that I feel like Johnson should start over Richarlison, just because what we saw from Johnson when he came on was more than we sort of saw with Richarlison. But yeah, if we can get more goals from the left and the right hand side, And that's not to say that we're not like, they're not all like contributing. But it would just be nice to see more goals from them. Just seeing. Like Son could have really started going in the first half. And he was sort of, Critical Palace were frustrating us, and like, and even if it wasn't like Son's best performance, he still got a goal. What a lovely finish that was. And his movement, his pressing, like, is out of this world. And I feel like that's one of like his best attributes, is that the whole pressing. I'm gonna give him a 7. Richarlison, he played a few nice passes the first half. Most of the first half though, there was like these little mistakes which ended up making him lose the ball, which I've mentioned. I feel like in the final third was probably where he was at his worst. I'll probably give him a 5. Second half was a little bit better. He was able to keep hold of the ball more, but then he was also subbed off for Johnson. And you know what happened? Johnson ended up getting an assist. So it's like, I would consider going for Johnson in the Chelsea game. I feel like Richarlison can be like a good sub player. I feel like we've seen when he's like subbed on. And I feel like Sheffield United, for example, he got the goal and assist. So I feel like that, if we can sort of just trying to bed him in a little bit more and maybe keep him on the bench for some games, that might be able to work. Obviously for like this game, you would want like a Richarlison because of like the, like, you know what Richarlison's like against rivals. But I would, in saying that, I would still go for Johnson, because we know what Johnson can provide. If we move to subs, Emerson Royale came on for Ben Davies at half time. I feel like he was a much better defender than Ben Davies, and he offered the defensive work. He offered, we played a lot better, and I would probably give him a 7, to be honest. Højbjerg also came on for Basuma. And I feel like he helped control the game when it came on, and what he offers in his experience and leadership, I feel like that's something definitely we need with such a young squad, or young team, whatever you're saying. So I'll bring him like a 6. And yeah, I was impressed with Højbjerg. Johnson, I'd probably give a 7. You know, he was introduced midway through the second half, and his impact was immediate, like, let's be real. And they helped with Son's goal. And yeah, 7, that'd be good. Okay, so I feel like we're going to talk about Hill when he came on, but I feel like first, I can't believe I haven't spoken about this yet. Bentancur was finally back in the matchday squad. He was on the bench, and around the 89th minute he came on, and what a reception he got. Like, I can't, like, imagine if it was like it's like a home game. Can you imagine how much reception he would have got if it was a home game? Like, it was amazing what he got, even though it was like at Crystal Palace, but he, like, the reception would have been insane. And it's so good to see Bentancur back. And I thought what we saw of him in like those like sort of 10-ish minutes or so, he looked good. Like, it was good to see him back. Obviously we didn't see too much of him, but I saw he slotted in that midfield really well, and like, he was really, like, he always wanted the ball and like everything, and it was just brilliant to see him back. Obviously we're gonna, you know, just slowly give him more minutes, and it's obviously the major injury he had at ACL, and like being 8 months out, we're gonna need to give him time to sort of get back his match fitness. But what we saw of him, I can't wait. Honestly, I was so happy for him, and like, at the end of the game, all of them, you know, just being so happy for Bentancur being back and being back on the pitch, and it was just like such a wholesome moment that I'm still like, I'm not over it. And also Bryan Hill came on. I feel like, which is making his first appearance of the season. I feel like Hill can offer us a lot. Obviously he came back from his injury, and it's probably going to take time as well for him to sort of, but I feel like he needs more opportunities to come, and like, I feel like he can offer us something, because his dribbling is insane. A bit like how we had more with Mora as well, like the dribbling from both of them. We sort of saw it a little bit last season. With like Hill, he needs a lot more game time, and hopefully he gets more opportunities. And if we have like a front line, we've got like Richarlison, Son, Johnson, Hill, Kulusevski. We would have Solomon, but obviously he's out for like 3-4 months. Do you think that's 5 sort of attacking players that we have? I'm not forgetting anyone. Oh, Valise. I feel like we can't forget Valise. Obviously, he wasn't on the bench for the previous game. That's because Bentancur was back. But I feel like if Valise gets a lot more game time, obviously when Son goes to the Asia Cups and whatnot, I want to see Valise get a lot more game time. Obviously, we still have Richarlison. And maybe in the absence of Son, if Richarlison plays a lot more, he might step up. I would give him faith that he could step up, but also want Valise to get more game time, because I've not seen for Valise. I feel like for such a young player, he can offer us something different. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, that's sort of the player ratings and like sort of talk about the Crystal Palace game. Now, okay, so obviously I talked about a little bit of the Chelsea game that's coming up in like 6 days' time. Obviously, it was kind of weird because Spurs playing on Friday. That gives us like a 9 days until our next game, which is kind of like a weird situation because it's like we played Monday to Friday and then we've got 9-day break. Like, I'm not complaining because I feel like as much rest as we can get and like as much time as we can prepare for this Chelsea game is going to be vital. And it's probably like, as much as Chelsea have not been great this season, it's going to be a massive test because Chelsea are still Chelsea, and there's still that rivalry, and there's still, like I said before, in the big games that they've played this season, it helps them a lot more because there's more space and it's more like an open game against the other teams, where those teams play low block, they like really struggle to open them up, and they have chances in that. Like, we've seen that they can create chances. It's just sort of getting the ball in the back of the net they struggle with, and it's gonna be a tough test, but I'm quietly confident with the Chelsea game. I don't think it's not gonna be like a walk in the park or anything, like, let's be honest. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's kind of annoying that we've got to wait so long, but it is what it is. But there we have it, guys. That is my sort of Tottenham player ratings, match review, talk about things Tottenham. I feel like it's been a bit of like, it hasn't really been a structure. I'm sort of trying to obviously get back into filming Tottenham videos, and trying to be more regular with my uploads, because I haven't done, because ever since I got ill, it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It sort of pushes me off my not motivation, not so much motivation, but it sort of just like messes with me. I'm just like, oh no, I haven't filmed in so long. Like, I need to do this, and also the filming reactions as well. It's like I need to just get back into like a routine of things. So that's basically what I'm trying to do with this video. But I'll see you guys soon. I don't know whether there's gonna be another upload before the Chelsea game. But we'll see. I might do like a predicted lineup or something, because I haven't done one of those in a while, and it'll be interesting to see what lineup you think Andrew will go with, and like whether you agree with mine. So that might come out. I'll let you know, guys know. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and come on, you Spurs.